Peace and welcome to my 11-month and 18-day check-in with No Nicotine. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing them support to the channel, and hope everyone's out there in good spirits. And other than that, let's get right into the video. So let's talk about on your path, on this journey, you're going to have all sorts of things, all sorts of experiences that you go through that are going to test you and that are going to challenge you. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can overcome these things, and that's talking mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Let's get right into it. Emotionally, how do you overcome these challenges that you're going to end up facing? Well, the way that it can affect you is if you are, let's say, mentally, you are unstable in the way where your thoughts are, dependent a little bit upon the external, upon your view of the physical world, and you're not necessarily mentally being there 100%. You're more or less reflecting off what you see with the physical world, and then mentally you are taking that in. But what you should be doing is having that fully mental process that you can have, and that you don't need any validation. And it's not that you don't need confirmation either. You can get confirmation for your thoughts. You can get confirmation for why you're in a certain state of mental being, or why you're in a certain, and using certain mental forms. You can get confirmation about that, but it's about being able to trust your mental state of being and not allow that to have influence or be influenced, and allow that to have influence and not for it to be influenced and changed via any influences. And how do you get over things like, hey, you think something's getting in my head, something's been on my mind, or you just can't shake something? Well, being aware of that is definitely, the right way of going about it, and seeing and understanding that, as well as understanding that your mental state of being, your mental process, your mental strength, that is all, it is yours. No one else necessarily thinks like you. No one else necessarily communicates like you. And that's why it's special for you. So that's exactly why I think you should preserve your mental state of being and keep that original thought and original idea, because you gotta have that. With Shopify's mobile app, especially if you're ever going through challenges mentally, or times of mental stress, or Shopify. It's good to have that confidence in your mental state of being to be able to conduct business, conduct yourself in life, and be able to vouch for yourself and be able to think yourself through any problem that you're in. And not that you can't get confirmation that you're okay, you're in the right mental state of being. Your mental state of being is strong, it's where it needs to be, it's proficient in the area that you need it to be. Okay, well, yes, you can be aware of that. Then you have to understand, I can always grow from here. I can always get even stronger the more that I go. And if you are dealing with, situations where you're like, dang, that situation really is like, that's trying to get in my head, it's trying to affect the way I think or whatnot. Just you being aware of that, like I said, is going to put you in the space where you can act on it, or you don't have to act on it. And just being there is going to give you that power of the situation, give you the power of perspective, you're going to be able to understand a lot more what's going on. So trust your mental state of being. A lot of times if you're having interactions, trust that you did the right thing, trust that you were in the right state of mind, because at the end of the day, you did that for a reason, and you should be responsible for your own actions. And if you can't, mentally fathom, mentally necessarily detail your experience, then yeah, maybe you need to work on how to overcome things when it comes to mentally. Maybe you need to mentally be more aware of your thoughts, for sure. And if you're ever dealing with anything mentally, know that you're going to use that mind to kind of be there before really anything else, because you want your mental state of being to be on par with the rest of you. And your mind is a very strong thing, so it's good to use your mind in the right ways. It's good to know how to get through things when you're ever in strife, when you ever need to know, hey, how can I get by this situation the right way? How can I overcome these obstacles that I'm dealing with? And mentally, a lot of times you'll just build that mental strength after each situation. After each situation, you'll realize, hey, I'm getting mentally stronger. There's less things that I want to react to, and there's more things that I'm having an internal reaction to in my mind, where I'm being able to use that mental state of being, use your mental forms in a way that is, right for you, and that is protecting from all the external influences. Reacting not just less, but also reacting in a way of more intelligent, more intellectual, really understanding not just the hard concepts to grasp, not just the deep concepts to grasp, but also the simple ones. For example, things that, on a daily basis we might not think about, but let's talk about, how to get over and how to get through, and really how to overcome these challenges when it comes to mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And mentally, that's where you're going to be in your mind, right? So exist there in full awareness, exist there in full strength and full intellect and full intuitiveness, and that should allow you to, through your experiences of hardship, allow you to develop and to see those situations and how they played out, and to, develop knowledge and wisdom from those circumstances. Alright, physically, how do you overcome things physically whenever you're going through challenges, let's say blockages, maybe health-related issues? That all needs to be dealt with, because you know that after this pain, through this pain, there's going to be a time when there's pain-free, and there's going to be a time when I'm also feeling pain, and there's going to be a time when maybe, I've got illness, or I've got an ache, I've got a headache. As hard as it can be, in those times of pain, you need to make sure you take care of yourself, is the bottom line. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and meet that physical resistance, meet that head on, like you've known to do forever, right? Meet that head on. Don't try to avoid it. Don't try to necessarily do things just to forget about that pain for a certain amount of time. But you know that once you get through that, there is a space that you can be in physically where you won't have to feel that pain anymore. Not only that, but embracing who you are, physically who you are, and understanding where you fit in the physical world and what your role is, what your purpose is physically. That's how you can, overcome challenges. And also, by pushing yourself physically, which is, doing the right thing, doing what's best for you, doing the option that is going to allow you to exist physically at most ease, with most non-afflicting experiences when it comes to physically, learning how to physically take care even more of your physical state of being. And just know that you will get through this. Stay strong, no matter what. Stay strong like you always have, you always will continue to. And you gotta physically protect yourself by always taking care, always putting yourself in the right state of being, and always surrounding yourself with the right surroundings. And not only that, but if you're meeting resistance, and a lot of resistance that is, then, physically take heed to that. Physically start to change your actions into a way that you can, for sure, ensure your safety and ensure your state of being when it comes to physically.